So this next question comes to us from Erik in Maryland. Hey, Anna and BD. My wife is very angry all of the time. She takes her anger out on me and our young daughter. We don't really talk about anything but house stuff or things we disagree on. She's under a lot of stress at work, and so that might be part of it, but I just don't want to deal with this anymore. What should I do?
I just don't want to deal with this anymore.
That is not a good place to be in.
All right, so we'll start off with the anger part, because there's not a whole lot of details here. My first focus would be, is this actual physical anger being taken out on you or your child? Mm-hmm. Is it emotional? Is it something serious? Then you should get intervention right away. You should go seek professional help immediately. You need to make sure your child is safe and you are safe.
Correct.
I don't read that here, but I just want to put it out there.
Right.
Because when you say anger, that can come in many, many forms.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know where it's coming from. And so that's
something that you have to figure out. What's the root cause of it? And I would say let's talk about communication.
Communication is always key.
It absolutely is. Because Erik's saying that they don't really talk about anything except house stuff and things they disagree on.
All right, so house stuff, I assume, is chores, things that have to get done.
Who's doing what?
Who's doing what?
Or worse, who hasn't done what they should be doing. That sort of thing.
And then things we disagree on. And maybe that's always the hot button topics of money, finances, whatever.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And the challenge is, if there's not open and honest communication between the two of them, the issues and problems are not going to get resolved. The frustration and anger and dissatisfaction is going to continue to grow and feed on each other.
Well, let's just take Erik's comment in here. She's under a lot of stress at work, and that might be part of it. Erik doesn't even know why his wife's angry. So, Erik, I hope you understand that's a problem. That's a you problem on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You should understand what your wife's going through. You should have empathy for what she's experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have communication with her and so she understands. So her anger may be in part because you're not there for her.
Right.
Because you don't even know why she's angry.
And because he doesn't know why she's angry and why she's stressed at work, then he can't provide the support to her that she may need to cope better with the stress that's going on at work.
Well, and it could be stress at work. It could be stress because she's working.
Mm-hmm.
It could be stress that, well, I don't know what Erik does. We don't know if he's working or if he's staying at home with their daughter. Like, what is the situation? What's going on? And how is Erik's wife feeling about it? How is Erik feeling about it? If you're only talking about things you don't agree on, you're not really having conversations.
No, you're just talking at each other.
Right.
And that's not going to be productive. That's not going to solve anything.
And I guarantee you your daughter is feeling that. So you
100%.
may want to put the anger on your wife, but the fact that you aren't supporting or talking to your wife in good ways, your daughter will see that as well. It's all a bad situation.
It absolutely is. And I think the first step is Erik needs to evaluate what his role in this situation is, the steps that he can take to improve it. I think the communication piece is the first one that he should be working on.
So tangibly, he should go talk to his wife with an open heart. Don't go in with a wall up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in with expectations that you're right, she's wrong, she's right, you're wrong. And tell her, I want to have an open conversation.
Acknowledge the realities of the situation.
Acknowledge that she's hurting.
Yes.
And you're hurting.
Yes.
And just say, I want to have a conversation with my wife. I want to know what's going on. I want to express how I'm feeling. But I don't want anyone to get angry here. We just want to talk. Can we understand what's happening?
Right.
Right.
There cannot be any blame made in the conversation.
The reality of marriage, Erik, is that it is always a lot of work. And it is a partnership. and it is not an even partnership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people like to say it's 50-50. It's not. Sometimes it'll be 80-20,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
it will flow back and forth.
It will.
Sometimes you will be the person that needs more support, consideration, empathy because of what you're dealing with. And sometimes it's your partner that's going to need that, you know, a larger amount of support.
And if you are there for your partner and your partner is ultimately there for you, your child will be very well supported. That's just the natural outcome of a strong partnership. So go into discussions with your wife with an open mind. Make sure she goes in as well. Make sure your tone is appropriate. You don't go in with any animosity. You make it as safe a space for her and you to discuss as possible, and see what flows from there. Because a lot will come out that may surprise you, and you need to be ready for that. You need to be ready that you'll have to make some changes. Hopefully she'll be ready that she'll want to make some changes, and you get to a better place.
And what I would recommend too is that don't try to have this conversation with her spur of the moment. Let her know that this is a conversation that you need and want to have with her. Dedicate time to it. So definitely don't make it after work.
and don't make it right after work, and don't make it near your child. That is a you and her discussion alone.
Yes. And I would even say don't have it in a public place. Have it in a private place, because I can pretty much guarantee, you know,
again, it's not supposed to be a fight. It is a conversation, so you can have it.
It's a starting point.
Yep.
And if you make that clear to her, and she can understand that, she will be open to it.
You're adults. You love each other. You're married. You have a child. There's a lot of history there. You just have to have some empathy and make it work.
Absolutely.
Have that discussion. Remember why you got married in the first place. You love each other. You communicate. So get back to that. So the last question is for our listeners. What advice would you give Erik in this situation? Leave your feedback in the comments down below.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video.
And we appreciate that. If you need advice, go ahead and click on the link in the description below, and it may get answered in a later episode.
And if you want to watch more Twice the Advice, check out our other videos right now.